And you're welcome back. We've a Canadian sweet treat in the kitchen for you today, yeah?
Yes, Chrissy Gibson from Take the Cake is doing the honours. Today we're making Nanaimo Bars.
Very good.
Is that right?
It's perfect.
Named after the Canadian city.
Yeah, Nanaimo is a place. If you're in Nanaimo, you are on Vancouver Island in beautiful British Columbia, and that happens to be my birthplace. So this dessert holds a special place in my heart.
Okay. And what is it, Chrissy?
These are a cookie bar. Basically, there's no baking involved at all. So this is a really easy one to prepare. If you've got a fridge, you're golden. If you've got a food processor, that's even better. So we're going to start with 125 grams of butter. We're going to melt that over a double boiler. We're going to add 50 grams of sugar and 50 grams of unsweetened cocoa, baker's cocoa.
Nice.
Okay, and we're going to mix that up. It's going to melt really nicely in the butter. And
that baker's cocoa is available in the supermarket.
Absolutely, you can get this anywhere. We're not talking hot cocoa powder, we're talking unsweetened. You'll find it in the baking section. We're gonna add about 5 mils of vanilla. I like a little extra.
You do, yeah, you do.
So we'll just...
She's very precise there, Chrissy. Yeah.
See? And then lastly, we're gonna add 1 egg. I'm gonna whisk this while I add it slowly. We don't want to cook the egg while we're doing this. This stuff is warm in here. We want to avoid the scrambled egg situation.
So you've just beaten that egg before you pop it in.
Now, do you notice how while I'm doing this, it's really changing the texture of the chocolate?
Thickening up big time, isn't it?
It really is. It's gonna thicken up, and that's what we want. If it starts to look a little bit congealed and uneven, don't panic. It's still gonna work just fine. We're gonna set that aside and let it cool for about a minute. And it is fab. Here we have about 250 grams of digestive biscuit crumbs. Okay, I did those in the food processor. This here is 60 grams of chopped walnuts.
Oh, nice little touch.
And 100 grams of desiccated coconut.
Now, this is where I leave the party now. I'm not a big desiccated coconut fan. But I am willing to stay with it and try it at the end.
Do give it a try.
Yeah,
actually, it's funny enough, I could swear you tried one of these a little earlier and you happened to love it.
People think we don't research these items.
Tasting is such an important part
of that. He does his due diligence, don't you?
Listen, I know it's a Canadian dish, and speaking of your birthplace, but tomorrow is Mother's Day in the US.
Mothering Sunday.
And your mom, Karen, is over visiting, so happy Mom's Day.
Is she watching?
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Yeah, happy
My saint of a mother.
Oh, she should be sainted, that woman.
So, and she loves Nanaimo bars.
Of course she
So
does.
I'm getting my hands dirty here, and I'm just going to mix up this dry stuff with my hands. You could also use a tool like this if you want. Just mix it up. To that, we're going to add that chocolate mixture, okay?
Now I'm back at the party.
And this is where my hands are going to come in useful because it'll go a lot faster.
Best tool you have in the kitchen, your hands, isn't that right?
Now, this is going to become sort of clumpy, and we want it to get to that stage where the pieces hold together when you squeeze it.
So it's going to set.
Exactly. Now, this is our base. I'm not going to call it a crust, because it's really not a crust. It's more just a cookie base. This is going to be the bottom layer of our Nanaimo bars. And
this is awesome. Could you do something like make that base and use it in a cheesecake or something like that? Or
you could.
A pie?
I know you kind of like to mix your flavors, don't you? I think you've got chocolate in your key lime.
Yes, I do.
I have, I use a digestive biscuit crust for my pies, but if you don't mind mixing chocolate with that, then yes.
Well, you never mind mixing chocolate with anything. Prawns maybe, but that'll be about it.
Now, for the record, I know you like your milk chocolate, Simon. This, I used dark chocolate, and I do suggest dark chocolate. However, this is a recipe that you can kind of, you know, switch things up.
You can adapt.
Adapt it the way you like it, you know. So we've got dark chocolate in here. I've got the coconut. I'm just going to press this down. If you want to have the edges go up a little bit on the sides, you can. Otherwise, you can just press it straight down. The flatter, the better. It'll look nicer on the side.
Okay, so you don't want it too thick.
That's the crust. The next thing we're going to do is the filling, okay? I've got 60 grams of butter. I've got 250 grams of icing sugar, 20 grams of custard powder.
Custard powder?
Custard powder. And this is 50 mils of thick cream, okay?
Nice.
And I'm just going to use my hand mixer. By the way, while I'm doing this, these go in the fridge. You need a fridge for Nanaimo bars. Put those in the fridge to chill just for a couple of minutes.
Not long. Less than 10?
Absolutely. 10 minutes. This is a dessert that could be ready in an hour. All in.
Start to finish.
It's fantastic. No baking whatsoever. So here's the filling, and we're going for fluffy. If you mix this up and you notice it doesn't look too fluffy, add a bit more cream. Okay?
Okay. So we have a lot of different flavours going on. You've custard, We have the nuts.
Coconut,
we have the coconut.
You know, if I
chocolate,
had to name the flavor on this filling, more than custard, I would say it's like a frosting.
That's it's just delicious to watch.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's so
it's
Now,
almost
this goes-
hypnotic.
and creamy.
This goes straight into the fridge because you want this filling to sort of solidify a little bit.
So you want another separate layer setting there, do you,
Yeah.
Chrissy? Okay.
And then the last step is the
More
chocolate
chocolate.
topping, okay?
Baby,
now,
look
in
at
the
that.
microwave, I take 60 grams of butter and 225 grams of chocolate of my choice. For you, I did milk chocolate.
Wow, you're such a lovely woman.
And you pour it on the top of your chilled
Lord.
bars, okay? Now, we're nearing the end here. This is so easy, you guys.
Yeah.
So just make it look as nice as you can.
This is my kind of baking because there's no baking.
Exactly. And
It's just putting ingredients
it really
together.
gives you that nice chocolate fix, and they look nice. Okay, so that's going in the fridge. There we are. Here's one that's done. Now, I might take a moment to mention that you can really use any size and shape pan. If you use a smaller one like this,
Get it
your bars
thicker.
are going to be thicker.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
use a bigger one like this, your bars are going to be thinner.
Yeah.
So here I've cut you guys a couple of slices if you'd like to try.
And if you wanted to say...
Well, he won't. He doesn't like the coconut, so.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't really.
Can I force
but I
you?
will. If you wanted to, like, because these would be great for kids' parties,
Thank
etc.,
you.
etc. But if
Yeah.
you wanted to make these, say, for a dinner party for adults, could you say
Add
throw in
a
a bit
little
of orange
something?
liqueur into that chocolate at the end or something, just to give it a
Sherry
bit
or
of...
something?
If you want, like I said, this is
You
the
can take it
kind
with
of
us.
dessert that you can completely experiment with. But I don't know that citrus would go too well with the base. But that's really your call.
Oh, that is absolutely delicious.
Isn't that yum?
Moly.
I'm glad you like it. This is a really
Nanaimo.
staple dessert in the western part of Canada.
What a
That's
great place
amazing.
to grow up if you're getting them from.
Tell me
Thank you.
about it. I
Isn't it
know.
good?
And happy Mom's Day, Karen.
Indeed. Thanks, Chrissy. As ever, the full recipe is on our website, or you can check out Chrissy's own website, takethecake.ie, for more information and stock us of her amazing treats
Now,
like this.
up next, he blew the Britain's Got Talent judges away with this audition last month. The stupidly talented Brian Gilligan will be stopping by after the break. See you in a minute, Brian.
Amazing soufflé, le perfect way. Cooking perfection on Weekend AM. Brought to you by the Dietrich.